So, I did a bit of a thing today. Yeah. Well, it's today at the time that I'm filming this. I don't know what time I'm going to get it up, but I am specifically referring to the Wednesday, May 1st, 2019 matinee show. It is also the day after the Tony noms were announced, which I think definitely, would impact the energy of not only the performers, but also the audience, so do keep that in mind. God, and speaking of that, 14 nominations, that is amazing. It should have been 15, they really did Reeve so dirty, but I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to be happy for the 14 that they did get. Anyway, so. I don't know where to start. Okay, how about I start by saying that, first of all, Hadestown is my special interest, or one of my special interests, so I am obviously going to be very biased in favor of it for that reason, but, in the same breath, I feel like it's my special interest for a good reason. So I'm going to be trying to review the Broadway production itself rather than the show as a whole. Hold on, I kind of want to comment on, specific scenes, but I need a visual to do that, so I'm going to bring up my, the musical numbers and the playbill. Actually, no, I'm going to comment on the cast first. Okay, so I obviously saw the OBC, and there were not any, replacements, or, not replacements, but, understudies or standbys or swings or alternates or anything like that on tonight. So I just saw the cast as most people know them, and, oh my god, they were literally so amazing, every single person. I hate choosing favorites, so I'm not going to, and I honestly don't think that I could, because everyone was so amazing in their own way. Everyone is so perfect in their roles. Also, the harmonies of the Fates, God, I was ascending, they were so good. Obviously everyone was great at singing, but I wanted to specifically comment on the Fates, I wish I could pull that off. So, I know that there's been some changes between the London and New York Theatre Wing's productions and Broadway production, but I actually didn't know about them until I saw the show, or I didn't know about all of them. I've heard people mentioning a few, but I didn't know the specifics. I knew, oh, this person's verse got changed, or this person's verse got removed, or whatever, but I didn't know, what it got changed to. So everything new from tonight surprised me, and I'm happy for that, because, honestly, I really liked it. I actually tried to avoid a lot of, quote-unquote spoilers in terms of staging and things like that about the show, because every time I see a show, especially a musical, or every time there's a chance that I'm going to get to see a show, I try to avoid kind of things involving it, especially if it's one that I already knew about. I already knew the story and the music of Hadestown so well that I still wanted there to be a little bit of room for surprise, so I just kind of avoided hearing about things that got changed, or even avoided hearing about the way that certain things were staged. I had seen pictures of the stage, but that was about it. By the way, the set and the lighting and design or whatever of the show was so good. I loved it. So Sorry, I'm trying to, like, think back to everything that I saw. It was a blurb in a good way. I already want to see the show again. I didn't even know that the Broadway version opened with Road to Hell. And, like, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, I could not think of a better opening number. Yeah, it was really a perfect way to establish the characters and what was going on. Because, like, not counting the Great Comet prologue, I usually get really confused at opening numbers that don't explain the plot in some way. Because I feel like that's what an opening number is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a basic introduction to everything and everyone. And I'm not trying to bash shows that don't do this. I'm just saying it's really hard for me to figure stuff out on my own just because of the way that my brain works. So I kind of look for as many answers as I can in the beginning of the show. And, like, Hadestown was perfect. And again, obviously I already knew everything going in. But still. Or not everything, but mostly everything. Everything that was in past productions. Orpheus and Eurydice were adorable. Like, I already was a fan of them as a couple, but watching it live made me ship it even more, and I hate the fact that I just said the word ship it, like, out loud in a video that's going to be public. Like, I've really just descended to that level of, but it's fine. I also low-key am into Eurydice and Persephone. But that could just be, like, the lesbianism coming out. Speaking of, oh my god. I know I don't choose favorites, but Amber Gray. Like, again, I'm genuinely not choosing a favorite here, but I feel like seeing Amber Gray in person definitely had the biggest impact on me, just because she's the one that I've known for the longest. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, look at the songs again and piece together my thoughts. The way that they staged, Hades coming to manipulate Eurydice and everything, and also the way that Living It Up on Top was staged, those were, like, really good. Again, I went in not knowing what it was gonna look like, but it did kind of fit the way that I imagined it in my head, which is really cool. Like, I like that they did that. And Why We Built the Wall, that was extremely powerful, and big shout out to the people who were sitting next to me. They said something like, wow, they're having the literal devil here talking about why it's a good idea to build the wall, ha ha ha, I see what they did there. And honestly, I'm still not sure if that whole thing is intentional or not, but listening to it felt very relevant and very powerful. Everything is so powerful. Flowers, oh my god. I cried at least a dozen times when watching this show, but like, Flowers definitely hit me the hardest. Like, she delivered. Yeah. Honestly, the whole Hadestown, the place sequences were so extra, and it was incredible. I really honestly felt as if I was there. And that might have something to do with the intimacy of the Walter Kerr Theater. But, I mean, either way. Also, I have to talk about it. Doubt comes in. Okay, so I heard people talking about how they were genuinely shocked at the end. Even if they knew how the musical slash myth ends, they were still shocked by the end. And I would read people say that, and I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from, but I'm gonna be emotional, but I'm not gonna be surprised or anything when it happens. But as I was watching it, I was genuinely thinking to myself, hey, maybe he won't turn around this time. And when he did, I was like, fuck. And people around me had the same reaction too. Like, everyone was really surprised, even, and I'm sure at least a few of the other people in the audience had to know how the myth and musical ends, but that's good acting. That's amazing acting. I love Reeve Carney. And also, again, as I said so many times before, I did not know how any of the songs were staged. And I'm not sure what I expected for Doubt Comes In, but I definitely didn't expect what they actually had. It was just the way that the lighting and the fog and the general blocking slash staging of the song really helped me to get into Orpheus's mind. And there were even times when I doubted, oh, is she really back there? Everyone in the show is a genius. I'm clearly not a genius because I was thinking all these dumbass things, but God, everyone there is such a genius. I also love how they have I Raise My Cup at the end, after the bows. It's like a post-credit scene, but in a musical, and it's really good. It's like, I love how they do that. Also, as you can tell from my playbill, I met a fair amount of people at stage door. Everyone there was so nice. And it's like, people don't even have to stage door. Like, it's literally not part of a Broadway performer's job at all, but all these people still did. Bless. Everyone was so kind. I got a flower at stage door too. Everyone does, at least for now. I'm not sure if they're gonna do away with them when the show becomes even more successful, but so I'm probably gonna end this video around now. The video is like super long, but I still feel like there's more that I need to say, but I don't want to ramble too much. I don't know, like, I talk too much about it, and I could keep going on, but I don't want to, just because I don't want to annoy anyone, and I'm already really bad at forming my thoughts together, as you can tell from this, and also from my endgame video, so I'm just going to sign off for now, but I'll be back in a few days with a review of yet another musical that I'm seeing, Octet by Dave Malloy, at the Signature Theater. I'm seeing that May 4th. I'm seeing that on the May 4th Saturday matinee. So I'll get a video up for that around, like, probably that day or the day after.